Hey everyone, so another gun to share with you today. So fortunately, a lot of the guns that I have in my collection, firearm or air gun for that matter, have sentimental value, and this one's no exception. This one actually belonged to one of my grandfathers, and he wasn't really known for shooting. This is the only gun I ever remember seeing him with, and there was one specific time that I remember very clearly. It's the only time I ever shot with him. When I was a kid, he hung a sheet in his basement workshop and just hung a piece of paper on it, and we used this to just put holes in a piece of paper. Like I said, it's the only time I remember seeing him with a gun or shooting with him, and it's just something that always stuck with me. Long story short, when he passed, as we all tend to do, I ended up getting the gun. And when I got it, this thing's from late 60s, early 70s, and to say that it was in rough shape as far as the internals are concerned would be an understatement. I mean, the seals hadn't been maintained. All the lubricant, all the grease in here basically turned into a solid. It was pretty nasty. So obviously went through it, cleaned it up, re-lubricated it, resealed it, and rebuilt the valve. So at this point, it is functional. Really interesting little BB pistol, though. While not especially accurate, it has some really good sights on it, which is kind of surprising. Typical sight blade in the front. This one's made out of plastic. However, the rear sight is really interesting in that it's adjustable for both elevation and windage. Really nice adjustments. Really nice steel used on that notch in the back, so it's very crisp. And you can shoot fairly accurately with it for what it is. One of the biggest issues with this gun is the trigger, and that's because it's basically a double action trigger. It's pulling a hammer back within the gun as you're pulling that trigger back. Now, fortunately, just as that hammer's about to fall, the resistance of the trigger does increase ever so slightly, so you can kind of stage it a little bit. You have an idea when it's going to go off. But anyhow, it is raining cats and dogs out there. We've got some absolute crappy weather. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get this thing loaded up, and I'm going to take a couple shots here in my workshop just to show you how it functions and how it shoots. But like I said, just something interesting I thought I'd share with you. These aren't especially hard to come by. You can find them on eBay. Think ballpark, you're going to pay maybe 50 bucks, 60 bucks for one that's in good working order. And they are a heck of a lot of fun, and they are probably fairly accurate for a BB gun, but you're not going to compete with a pellet gun or anything of that nature. So let me go ahead and get this thing loaded up and get some CO2 in it, and we'll do a little shooting. Looking at this, I really could have put down a new cloth for you, but my bad. I'll try to remember that next time. So we've got our new CO2 powerlet. Let's go ahead. I'll try to keep this in frame. Like a lot of Crosmans, or for that matter, a lot of BB guns or CO2 guns, the CO2 capsule is kept behind the grip. Now this one uses a flat blade on it, no ring or anything like that to grab onto, unfortunately. So we'll go ahead and loosen that. There's the old one. Now before we put the new one in, we're going to go ahead and put a little pellet gun oil on the end of the CO2 capsule. There we go. That'll help keep the seals nice and supple and functional, more importantly. Okay, so we've put a fresh capsule in the gun here, and everything is all sealed up. Put the grip panel back on. Now we'll go through the loading process. So I'm just running some cheapy little Daisy BBs here, nothing special, and I'm not going to put a whole lot of shots downrange. This one I keep more for sentimental value than its ability to shoot. So let's go through the loading process. Basically, we've got a plunger here on a spring. If I move that down and rotate it, it locks into a little bit of a groove. Now you do have to hold it back here, otherwise it will pop out. Up to the top of the receiver, there is a hole, so we're just going to load the BBs down in that hole. Famous last words, because apparently that is kicking my butt tonight. There we go. Okay. Been a minute since I've done anything with this one. Like I said, it's not something I shoot very often. but it is just a neat one to have. And fortunately, it's in really good shape. I mean, besides the internals and the issues that I had with it when I got my hands on it, it's actually in really good condition. I mean, the paint is holding up fairly well. It's got a little bit of wear on some of the edges, things of that nature, which honestly I don't mind. I don't necessarily have to have guns that look brand new. I kind of prefer that they have a little bit of wear and tear and a story behind them. The other interesting thing is over on this side there is an inspection sticker on it. Would be neat if I had the box to go with this thing, but I think just having that and having it in such good condition is kind of cool. So I'm going to go ahead and aim the camera at a target, and we'll see what I can do with it. So as you can see, not the most accurate thing in the world. That was a little over 10 feet distance. But again, for a BB pistol, it's double action. It's not bad, especially given its age. But, you know, like I said, it's the sentimental value of it that really means the most to me. And as I said, having it in good condition like this, it's kind of cool to just pull it out and relive childhood again. But anyhow, hope you guys have enjoyed this. Just a little trip down memory lane. I'll be going through some of my other guns as I have the opportunity to do so. As I said, with the rain and weather, it's just one of those indoor kind of days. Anyhow, hope you're doing well, and I will catch you later. Bye.